Hey everybody, Slightly Slanted Sleuth coming at you from Oakdale, Minnesota, where it is a balmy 41 degrees. Slightly Slanted Sleuth coming at you from Oakdale, Minnesota, where it is a balmy 41 degrees. So yeah, I hope everybody's been well. I gotta turn down my phone here, but yeah, nobody's here yet, so I'm just gonna get into it. I wanted to, hey, who's joining me right now? Typing in on my phone here because I'm in live chat there. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry I haven't done many videos or anything. I've been completely wrapped up with work. You know, I've been doing, I'm a stonemason. My name is Steve Stone. I'm a stonemason. I'm married to a woman who was born on Halloween. Her mom was born on Halloween. And 333 is a number I see constantly. I don't know what that means, but there it is. But yeah, I want to start this out with the good old mighty spirit of light that shines through the cosmos. Draw my flame closer in harmony to thee. Lift up my fire from out of the darkness, magnet of fire that is one with the all. Lift up my soul, thou mighty and potent. Child of the light, turn not away. Draw me in power to melt in thy furnace, one with all things and all things in one. Fire of the life strain, and one with the brain. So yeah, with that prayer or chant or message, I seem to tap into some sort of energy field or information field, if you will. It seems to bring it to me, information. And you may think I'm wacko for saying that, but whatever. Teach their own. One guy's nut is another man's steak or V8. So who's here in chat with me? I see 5 people are watching. Who be ye? I'm typing in here. But yeah, I'll post a link in live chat here in a minute if anybody wants to come on and join me and talk or whatever. But consciousness free is fused with the cosmic, one with the order and law of the all. And I wanted to talk about that. Talk about the what is the all? What is the all to you guys? What is the all to me? The all to me is the ultimate, the creative principle of nature, energy in motion, mass in motion, matter in motion. And my dad always said to me, Steve, it's mind over matter. If you ain't got a fucking mind, it don't fucking matter. Now, isn't that the truth? But energy in motion. This came to me today because, you know, I've been working my ass off and I haven't really sat still. I sleep about 5-6 hours a night. And if I sleep any more than that, like I did last night, my whole body starts aching. I mean, my hands, my legs, my every joint in my body starts aching. And I thought maybe maybe that has something to do with it because I'm constantly moving, you know, working hard as a stonemason. And when I sit still, it starts hurting. I'm sure some people can relate. But my point with that is that everything's always in motion. There is no stillness in the sea, in the chaos. Everything is born from chaos. Chaos is the primeval or primordial substance before it's regulated via vibration, via polarity. You know, this is how I see it. And I don't know what's bringing me down this road of where I'm at today, other than the all itself has led me here. Now, as you all well know, I started filming the sky, making Nibiru videos, when it turns out Nibiru is just a story of ascension. Everything is crossed in our existence. The cross is the biggest and most well-known symbol on planet Earth, in human consciousness. Now, when I thought to myself, what is the cross? What is the cross? Why is it that the cross is prevalent everywhere? And the subtitle of my channel is Prevalent Truths Evolve. Now, I used to hold hell hard and fast to my idealistic belief system that I had. And I believed a lot of things. I believed that there was a God. I believed I should fear God. I believed that, well, whatever the belief was. And what I've learned in this journey is that belief is a means of control. If you stand in the corner of your belief, that's precisely where you'll remain, in the corner of belief. Because what we've been taught, or what we've learned as what to believe, turns out truth ever evolves. So that means that you know, if you stick to a belief and you align yourself on who you are with that belief, where does that get you when that belief turns out to be wrong? Other than confused, misunderstood, and ultimately lost. And what I've come to know is that there is one truth to existence that you can really know is the truth. And that is you, me, he, she, we are all of one energy, the creative principle of the all, God. You know, and whether you believe that the Bible is allegory, or whether you believe the Bible is a history lesson, truth remains always as the truth. And I've come to know that the cross is so prevalent in our consciousness because it's what we see when we become enlightened. That creative principle of the all is actually the light, the radiant light, the consciousness of us all. It's hard to wrap your mind around when you think that all is mind and we could be living in the mind of our consciousness, of God's consciousness, because after all, we are all from the one. The one, the monad, is the all. You know, uh, the mentalism of us creates the light. Correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender, and then back to mentalism. The 7 Hermetic principles, which are can be attributed to the atomic scale, the cosmic scale, the universal scale. And it's no coincidence that prime numbers, as in 3, 5, and 7, are the 3 main the formula for our creation. God thrice great. The 5 elements or aspects or attributes: earth, wind, fire, air, or earth, wind, fire. Which one am I missing here? But then air, earth, wind, fire, water. I'm confused. I'm a little nervous because I haven't been doing this for a while, guys. I'm kind of off my rocker, but the pyramids of Giza now, those are representation of the 5 of the. And then you could say that clay is information, because we use clay to make bricks. We use bricks to build pyramids, which is to give something measure or proportion. And then we then cap that pyramid and it becomes a diamond in a sea of clay or a field of clay. And that's essentially how you can think of our ascension process, because we take the info, which are clay, and then when you understand it at the end of them 5 is when you become a diamond, which means that you take on the light. You become one with the cosmos. You are the cosmos. You, within your brain, is the 12 and the 1. The zodiac surrounding the pineal gland. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the 12 are paired, so that's the 24. And there's no coincidence that the 24 hours of our clock are the same as that, and then half of that is 12. And then you got 12 day, 12 night. And it's kind of weird when you look at a clock. And I learned this from my 10-year-old daughter, of all people, because I never thought of it before. When I was doing thought experiments or thought meditation on the, I don't know what you call it, the hero's journey, or the 3 aspects of existence, how everything is 3. And I have not seen anybody in chat. I don't know what's going on with this, but I'm going to try to refresh it and see if anybody's there. Oh, there are people here. Mr. Runk, the row of 4 bricks. I wasn't getting any chat here, guys. Sorry. I would have said hi to everybody. I didn't know anybody was here. Hey, what's up, guys? Okay, we got 10,000 Lakes, BC. Cindy, what's up, sweetheart? I love you. Deborah Tucker, I love you. Nice to see you. April Chirpow, what's up, April, from Central Canada. The Megwitch. Jerry Runk, my brother from another mother. And Raven Wolf. Hi, Anna. How are you, sweetheart? And we've got Peace, Love, Sunshine. Same here on 333. Your wife woke too? No, she's not woke. Yes, she's not woke. So yikes. What's up, Spartan? We have Mata Shankar B. Nice. You be here. I be you. You be me. Yeah, I only sleep 5 hours a day. Okay, I'm trying to just say hi to everybody here. Eric Salcido. I hope I didn't mispronounce that. Hi, how are you? Joseph Burbo. I haven't seen you in a while, bud. Nice to see you. Max Vision Remote This. What's up, Maxi? Maxi Vision. Mish Gleason. Ether, air, fire, water, earth. Thank you. The ether, I believe, is the fifth element. It's what turns us into diamonds. It's what we become. We become one in the same. Valley Parks. Hi, how are you? Anybody else I'm missing? I hope not. Okay, but here. Sorry. Here's the link for Zoom if anybody wants to come in and join me. There you are. 4, 3, 2, 1, brick, boom. Nice. What's up, Valley? Yeah, I'm glad you guys could join me on your Saturday. I hope all is well. I've been working my arse off, as I've been saying. But yeah, it's I was doing a little study on the netters, the Egyptian netters, which are the Iliad of the Egyptians. This tree of masks you. Thank you for bringing us all together. Well, thank you, Mish. I hope I do bring people together, and I hope, hope is another thing that people tend to lose track of, lose focus on, because without hope, you're just a dope, right? I have without a work off and first time in 8 months. Oh yeah, you have this weekend off, don't you, Cindy? Yeah. What were you gonna do? What were you gonna do, Cindy? So, Jerry, Mr. Runky Monkey, how have you been doing with the smoking, brother? But okay, so God thrice great. God thrice great. What does that mean to you guys? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of yard work. Well, it's supposed to start snowing here, I hear. Yeah, snow here. Almost May, and it's going to snow in Minnesota. Yeah, it's not fun. But God thrice great. You went all day without a cigarette? Way to go, dude. Way to go. Nice. Are you on Chantix and stuff? But has anybody ever considered that the three, within the three, I suppose, are the seven hermetic principles, which is the loop of creation, which you can apply those, the correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender, and mentalism. Am I missing one? Am I missing one? I don't know. I gotta get my notes here. Okay, we've got well, I'm looking at some old notes that I took a long time ago. Pretty funny. Yeah, you can't get parking tickets anymore. I got a few of them this year, actually. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes from aeons ago, and I'm trying to figure out. Okay, now the 7 are correspondence, right? Vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender, and mentalism. Okay, yeah. And then the 5, which are clay, and you could attribute clay to information, which we use to give something measure or to compare with. Okay, so clay, bricks, structure, which gives it proportion. Then we would cap it, which is measure, and then we understand it, which is the diamond. And that's the one and the same with air, wind, or air, which is wind, water, fire, earth, and diamonds. Okay, and then the netters. Now, what I was talking. Oh, and then the 3, which is the tiers, or the process, or the aspects, or the not aspects, but journey. The could be left, right, midbrain. Right. Right. Very well. Could be. And the 2. Oh, somebody's here. Let's see who's here. I bet you it's my brother from another mother, Mr. Runky Monkey. Of course it is. What's up, bud?
What are you doing, man?
Pretty good. How are you been?
Good. Somebody brought me a turkey today.
Oh yeah.
Wild turkey. Not the kind you drink.
Nice. I promoted you to panelist, so there you go.
So you get.
Oh, look at that. Oh, he's got my hat on. Hang on. There we go. Now we're matching.
Brothers forever.
Nice. Yeah, I've been kind of on the DL, I guess, down low or disabled list.
I was worried about you.
Nothing to worry about. Just working my ass off. Working for the man. Working for the man.
So I started vaping.
Oh, really?
Yeah, trying to use that not to smoke.
Yeah, that helps, I guess.
So I went back.
Oops, go ahead.
I went back and watched a bunch of our old videos.
Oh yeah.
You learn so much from that, things we missed. You know what I mean? I was pretty. That one video, it was talking about our most valuable rights.
That's what you texted me about yesterday?
Yeah. Well, you think about our birthrights and why they took our footprint, you know what I mean? Our most valuable rights.
Right.
Rights. Because even in the Bible, they sold his birthrights for a bowl of venison soup.
Really?
But he gets it back, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I got to do some more Bible study. I went to Bible camp my whole childhood, and I never really took anything in, really. I don't know why, but because I thought it was too contrived for me at the time, because obviously I now know that it's like the algorithm in a computer is the Bible in our existence. It's the allegory, for our existence, which is, you could call it what you will. And what's happened with the Bible, I believe, is that man has taken it and twisted it so dramatically that people like me, when I was younger, see it as a dogmatic, fear mongering, intrusive aspect of life, which it shouldn't be. If you take it at face value for what the physical stories are, then it's quite confusing. Wouldn't you agree?
Exactly. It just make me mad as hell, Steve, if all this time that the true answer has been laying on my coffee table. All I
Mm,
needed was an encyclopedia because you know these words have meanings. I
right.
mean, I didn't understand that Chaldean was cat meant Catholic, so we were run out of the garden to the east by the Catholics, and honestly, we were. You know, what I mean, we run west.
Them damn Romans, they did it to us. But
The
yeah, I don't
reason,
know if you guys can read this, but look at that's the Iliad or the Netters. It's the pyramid of gods in the Egyptian uh, sense. You know what I mean?
right? So you
And
get what I'm saying about the rows, though, like the row with 4 bricks, what it would represent. You know what I mean? What the row of 3 bricks would represent, what the row of 2 bricks represent.
what do you mean by that?
Like, you know, you was talking about earth, wind, air, fire. That'd be your row of 4. You know,
Yep.
row of 3 would be the gas. The was it liquid, gas,
Inert,
solid,
liquid, and what's the other one? Um, uh, solid, right?
solid. Yep. And
Yeah.
then the Trinity would be the 2, I guess, with the cap. I ain't quite sure yet how the emotions and the names of God fall into the 5th row. But I've seen other like you had right there with the pyramid, but it had all the 14 rows marked out, you know, what each one symbolized. And I can't
Yeah,
find
like
it.
the back of a dollar bill.
Yeah, but it had each section, you know, labeled to understand. I can't find that picture anymore. 'Cause I now understand why everybody wears that symbol on their shirt with the as above, so below.
Yeah, and I was just watching one of Levette's videos recently, and she had uh, she showed the what you call it. I'm gonna try to find my. Forgive me for smoking in front of you, brother.
No, that's good, dude. I
She
ain't got it
showed
whooped
the
yet.
she
I
showed
see
this
like,
right here, and you were talking about this too. You know how you got to bring the two stars together, the two
mm-hmm.
triangles.
Yeah,
You know, and
the star David.
yeah, and but this is also the vortex math thing. You know what I mean? That um Marco Rodin, I think. Yeah, uh, figured out. But it's funny that this symbol is everywhere, you know. And what does it have at both sides of it? It has two. It has an X on both a cross. It's crosses, two crosses coming together, as well as two pyramids coming together. You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's arrows too, because you
Yes.
see. So is that actually symbology of the seals being broken? You know, that's the broken ribbon. That's why they had the triple X and triple A.
And Eric Salcido, sorry if I'm Salcido, this will get you guys thinking, what are cell phones and tablets, TVs, computers? They are black mirrors. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they are.
Right.
I believe that too. They, like Maxwell Egan just said, I think that's where you're getting those references from, right? They call them the sigils and scythe mirrors, or I think that's what he called them, the scythe mirror or whatever.
Well,
Or
it was the mirror on the wall. Who's the best YouTube of them all? I mean, you can ask the mirror anything.
right, right. Well, speaking of Max Egan, I that video I got taken down and I got a community guideline strike for, and my channel was demonetized, guys. Well, didn't have my channel demonetized, right? You guys don't see commercials on my channel, I hope, you know, because I don't have any commercials on my channel anymore, and I stopped monetizing my channel, not because of because I, you know, to be honest with you, I was getting like $100 every 6 months, which was fine. I got something in return, you know,
Right.
because it cost me $10 for a subscription fee to YouTube, so I don't have to watch commercials first and foremost. So the reason why I demonetized my channel is because people were bitching about the commercials, and I don't blame you. I hate watching commercials, especially on YouTube. But
Yeah.
that channel or that video that got taken down was about how uh, the powers that be are using like the Christchurch massacre and stuff like that to twist everything on its ear, like how the YouTube community was hopping on everything as CGI, because Max's take on that whole situation was that people died, and I believe that too. I believe people died. Well, he had access to the video when uh, the guy was live streaming it on Facebook, and that's another whole story I want to get into about Facebook and how they propagate the Muslim against the American bullshit.
Yeah, but
the them and us bullshit.
the thing about this YouTube though is it's a tree of mask. You know what I mean? You never know who you're talking to. Some of us show our true face, but your symbol changes, your name changes. You
Right.
really never know who you're really talking to. But on there, you have to show face. You know what I mean? You can't be
Facebook is worse than YouTube in my opinion.
uh,
Facebook, because they control the narrative, dude. I've posted so many things that are counter in the face of the quote unquote mainstream, and it never gets posted. It never gets put on anybody's wall, and it's just crazy how they'll propagate the Islamic boogeyman before anything else. Because that's
well,
all. If I go on my wall right now on Facebook, all that comes up is the Democrats Republican bullshit. You know,
mhm.
the drawing the line, saying or line in the sand on that, and then the Muslim, and that's what I believe the whole Notre Dame thing is about, and the Sri Lanka bombings are about. The recent church bombings in Sri Lanka, and then the Notre Dame. Because think about it, the Yellow Vest movement was huge up until the cathedral burnt down. Now you don't
Right.
hear about it. Why is that?
Now, remember, I said people suck. You know what I mean? It's like there is some bad people out there. It's hard to please the masses. This chicken's too small. This cell phone don't pick up. AI is slow. Hard to make people happy. Hell, we can't even make them happy on this channel. You know what I mean? All the time, step on people's toes. But you know what I mean? It's just hard to get
Right.
everybody on the same boat.
Yeah, people are talking about it in chat about Eric touched on what the phones are, which are portals to another. Some say they are portals to the other side, and spirits can see into our realm. I believe that you can see into our realm always when you're not in our realm. It's kind of like, can you see the forest through the trees? That's that, and what I believe any on that. And then Svetlana, sorry if I'm hacking your name, Maskimova, is anyone else seeing big flash coming from the sun in the dreams? I've seen flashes in the corner of my eye lately. And then Cindy, my sister from another
Where do they
mister.
live? Where do they live that they seeing these flashes in the sun?
No, they were seeing it in their dreams.
Oh, all right.
And that also could be, the light of creation.
Well, I believe it because in some translations it says that the sun's panteth. It panning is panting. Like it's been on it's just real fast. It's such a fast pulse of light that it flashes. We don't see it with the naked eye, but it really is pulsating.
Right. And sun gazing is awesome, folks. And I agree with that when you can see the sun. And it's no coincidence that that the chemtrails are prevalent mostly in the morning and mostly in the evening when you can actually look at the sun before it burns a hole in your retina. It burns your eyes right out of your face.
We have a circle of sight. You know what I mean? Like if I stand where I'm at and I look up, it's going to look dark blue. And as I look out around my circle, it looks lighter blue. But the sky ain't really different colors. If you could be standing one state over and look at the same way, and when you look up it's going to be dark blue, but when you look out it's light blue. That's your perspective perspective of it.
Right. And I believe that whatever density or local cosmic area we're in determines the lightness or the purple or the hues of our atmosphere. That's what the whole aurora borealis is about, is the particles or whatever's hitting our upper atmosphere, the ionosphere, and interacting with it. I think that's what the colors are about. And the D layer of the ionosphere is half the reason why they chemtrail, I believe, because when the sun radiates the upper ionosphere, it excites it, and that's what causes storms and the jet stream and whatnot. And right now we are going through some sort of I think it has everything to do with our awakening, and because we are connected to the cosmic, we are the cosmic, as a matter of fact. If you look at all of these studies, the mind is a blueprint for the cosmos. I mean, they've shown it. There's article after article talking about how the cosmos looks like a big brain.
Made in the light.
Right, and then all them firings are the light of creation. The just like right now when I'm talking and moving my hand, my brain's making little blips of energy to send them signals to get me to move my fingers like this.
It's the same way saying blue box, and in your head you visualize that thought becomes like in your head or a circle. You know what I mean? Just the word spoke in your head. You when you think of what I said, you think of the circle, you see the blue circle, or you know what I mean? It's funny how the words can trigger images in your head.
GT Lambeth says, set you free from what? What do you mean, set you free? And just like that, they cut me off. I can't hear you anymore. That's Svetlana Maximova says. You're supposed to sun gaze at sunset and sunrise is what I heard. Yes, and that's when you're supposed to do it, because otherwise, if you do it at high noon, you're going to get, you're going to be blind. Now, here's another thing about the light, guys. Is it coincidence that our regular yellow light bulbs, like this light you see here around me in my camper, in my stabbing cabin, is it any coincidence that we have not access to the regular light bulb anymore like we used to? And now everything is LED light, and the sun has changed colors too. The sun is white, our surrounding light is white. I mean, you drive down the road right now and they're even putting these blue light bulbs in cars, and them damn things blind the shit out of you. You can see when you're behind them lights, but you can't see when them lights are coming at you.
When I was hauling cotton, you come around and like working third shift, and you out in one of them old farm trucks, can't hardly see anyhow, and somebody comes around the corner with one of them, and you're on some dark road, you're already blind. They're terrible. They should be against the law.
And Gary Baxter, my brother from another mother, says, hey, hombres, we danced on your neurons. If you can visualize the 3D diamond in your head, that means you can regenerate brain cells. Wow. I need to do a lot of visualization then. Boom.
Is that the two pyramids pushed apart?
Yeah. The chemtrails make our atmosphere like a halodeck, meaning that, they probably manifest junk up there or whatever. But yeah, I believe that we can, when we visualize, like I said before, when my journey first started and I was filming the sky, I was a deer killing monster. I was a deer hunter, and I'd go out and kill 9-10 deer a season, when we group hunt. And the first thing I started seeing in the clouds were deer, man. And I'm not kidding about that. That's the honest to God truth. It's hard to right. And then
even plants like pepper plants, when you prune them or circumcise them, cut them, they grow better fruit, and they're stronger too.
Right. But what if the chemtrails are fake and just used to scare us? I don't think that's the case. I believe that the chemtrails are there both to try to preserve some, it's funny. To get back to the gist of the chemtrail thing. Recently, if you go on Google and you go to the Google News feed on your cell phone or your mobile phone, you'll see article after article about how chemtrails are our last ditch effort to try to save the planet, or climate change, to curtail climate change.
Well,
And
you see,
they're talking about this now in the mainstream.
yeah,
That they're thinking about using, like that Harvard study video I did about how they're going to send up balloons to release chemtrails or chemicals into the atmosphere. Like they haven't been doing it for years, you know.
well,
But I mean, it's slowly creeping in. It's like the Ancient Alien thing on History Channel.
you
You
see
know,
them cobweb things? Can you see them things? Because it looks like the sun pushes them around.
I believe that. You're right. That's a good point, Jerry. I believe that the chemtrails are charged in a way to where the sun is where the sun is at its strongest. It attracts them. You know what I mean?
It's like silly string in the
Yes,
air.
actually propagates it to block the sun. It's like the clouds follow the sun, right? That's what you're talking about. How that cotton shit goes. I mean, it's constantly in front of it, mostly at night. In the morning though. But
It's
I
hard
mean,
to see. You gotta like wait till a certain time of the day, and then stand at the roof line of your house where you're blocking the sun with the roof line. Then you can look into that whitish part of the sun, because it's blocked off, and you can see, like, I'm not sure what that stuff is, almost like silly string, but then you can see them white floaty things too. They shoot through the sky, but that could just be, the wind's a lot faster up there, so some of them things gonna move faster. But it's
epiplacebogenics, about epiplacebogenics. Max Vision just made up a word, and it
because
sounds pretty good.
they said they're made with hairspray. That's why they spray the two chemicals of what makes it stick together. It's like hairspray and some other chemical, and when they mix it, that's what makes the silly string
Oh, really?
in the sky.
I don't know. The best peach trees are kept from producing fruit for the first 7 years by removing all blooms. Then, year 7 on it will produce big, beautiful fruits from then onward. I didn't know that. I know if you have a peach tree in your yard, it's awful sticky and awful stinky when they fall on the ground.
I got one in my yard, for sure. I got a whole bunch of peaches on it this year.
If in peace, love, and sunshine says, if I see a image in the sky, I'm gonna ignore it. Ignoring things is a good way to deal with things. But I I try to face everything I see head on. But I mean, I think when it comes to seeing things in the sky, I think it's a personal thing. It's like the journey to God or ascension. That that's what makes our each one of our uh, self discoveries or looking within makes it all personal, because your journey is not going to be the same as my journey. Your vision of the sky is not going to be the same vision of my sky that I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes, and that's what creation is about. I think is for the one that only has one experience to branch out. It's like a tree, and this is what I've realized lately. Because I cut down a tree recently in my backyard that was cracked in half and fallen down, and as I was pruning or bucking it, taking it apart, I was looking at it saying, "Wow, it's just like how God or the all experiences or gets different experiences is by branching off, you know, and that's what the tree branches are about. That's what the Sephirotic tree of life is about. That's what the Sephirotic tree is broke down into what, nine, three. You know what I mean? There's 3 tiers to the Sephirotic tree. There's and that's the same as the 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 sun up, the noon, and the sunset, or the beginning, middle, and the end. And that's the three. That's what all matter of existence has to face, is the
Well,
three.
it's like the stealth bomber. They didn't tell us about it for 40 years. So if the sky is ether of some sort or plasma, you know, they make plasma TVs. I see the grand delusion coming. That's
GT Lambeth says ignorance, and Gary Baxter says no fear, no ignorance. Ignorance means you don't know because you don't learn. Look and learn.
Well,
Right.
that's what the Bible speaks of. Knowledge, you can get all the knowledge in the world, but it's no good without discernment, without the wisdom to know how to use the knowledge. It's no good to you.
With understanding comes the wisdom, or with understanding. Well, you first get knowledge, then you have to understand the knowledge, right? And then
Yep.
comes the wisdom. The
Yep.
wisdom is the diamond.
Yes.
Once you're wise,
Well,
you're shining through the cosmos.
we did a video on that, and the wisdom's worth more than a rare ruby. And it's funny, the ruby slippers, it's that rare gem. A ruby's a rare gem, you know what I mean? And wisdom's worth a lot
Right.
more than any ruby.
There's only one, everyone, and everything else is just an aspect of yourself. Very true. You got to skate, Cindy. No,
Uh-oh.
I'm not working in Malacca anymore, and I got kind of asked out of that job. Somebody else worked it, and that's why I never showed up there, because I was going to go over to Cindy's house and she was going to cook for me.
Well,
But yeah,
you can send us some of that cold air, Steve. I mean, the flies are unbearable. They
that's one beautiful thing about Minnesota. This time of year, there's no freaking bugs.
It's awful, dude. It's terrible here. Every year it's like that though, when they spread the manure and, you know what I mean, start planting, stir all that up. I think they growing them.
Man, driving around your place there, I couldn't get over how much of it is abandoned. How much of it is just gone,
Well, it
It's
was all
because
cotton, you know what I mean? These were all plantation homes and stuff. So yeah, a lot of it.
when I was driving to the East Coast, I thought, I'm going to get there and there's going to be nothing but people. But holy shit, there's a vastness of empty space there around you, man.
It's all
You know,
farmland.
it's pretty cool. I was actually pretty relieved that it wasn't just nothing but people, because that's what
Oh,
I anticipated was, because living in the Midwest, you think, well, there's a lot of people here. I wonder how many people are on the East Coast. But if you go up north towards New York and Pittsburgh and all them other places that I've been up in Pennsylvania, it's pretty packed up there.
yeah.
It's pretty wall to wall, and the houses are small, and there's no yards, and they're right next to each other, on top of each other. It's pretty
I
crazy
was
how
born.
people can live in that.
I was born in Gettysburg. Funny, fought for the Civil War and then moved to the middle of a cotton field.
Right. It isn't that funny how all of that it's like war in our mind is justified by the propagation of propaganda that is forced upon our psyches via the mainstream media, via the propaganda machine that we have, you know.
Dude,
Eh,
I just had a Vuja moment. That was weird. Whatever you said or something triggered something. Maybe it'll be
Propagation of the propaganda.
maybe it'll be a Vuja day. The whole day be like that.
Yeah, hey, those are good days, man. When you're starting to feel that, and when you're feeling the goosebumps, and things are going, whoa, I've heard this, I've been here, I've been done this before,
Hmm.
because I believe that I believe a lot of things in the sense that and I got to stop using that word belief, because I was just speaking about that belief word. I think that um, our our
I do believe
reincarnation cycle is
I,
here for a reason. It's just like the tree, how the tree buds, blooms, dies every year, and
well,
that's
I believe in you, man. And I do trust you. Because
well,
you
I
know what I mean?
appreciate that, because I believe in you too, and I I think that belief is a bunch of BS with lie in the middle, you know.
Yeah, but that's trust. You know what I mean? I have to trust you to believe in you.
Right, right. That's. I think trust is a good word, because in God I trust, in you I trust, in me
Hmm.
I trust. I believe me, But I mean, I don't believe. I believe you, but it's hard to put your trust in. I guess I have faith in humanity still, and as a whole, I think we're going to get out of the doldrum of our pessimism that we find ourselves in today, and without having trust in somebody else or faith in humanity. Are you swatting at flies?
Yeah, dude.
Do you get one of them sticky things that has a bunch of flies stuck to it? And
Yeah, they look like decorations around the house. Yeah, but
right.
it'll go away once it gets warm. The flies will go away and mosquitoes will come. And then the flies will be back come fall. Cycle, everything.
Paul from Newcastle. What's up, Paul? Says hi, Jerry. Behind the eye
Paul.
we see. I live in Maine, and there, and it's your Jesus own people killed him. Jesus. Okay, here's my take on Jesus, guys. Jesus, to me, is a personification of the creative principle of existence. Jesus may have been a person, but he was Jesus of the Christ, meaning that he was Jesus of the ascended consciousness, meaning that he was Thoth, he was Hermes, Jesus was the light, Lucifer, and Jesus and Lucifer are one and the same in the esoteric sense. To me, I've stopped looking exoteric anymore, looking for the physical manifestation of things. Because if you turn everything on its head and think, okay, so I'm living a physical existence, but this physical existence is in the mind or the consciousness, then what is truth? Truth is that all is mind. So I know that my pains are real. I know that touching this table is real. I know that looking at this computer is real, but real to me is not real to the all, if you understand what I mean. So that's why I look on the inside, the hidden, what's behind the real in our sense of the real form. The physical manifestation is just a manifestation of the conscious creative principle, which is Jesus, the light, the demiurge, Lucifer. Because we were born, what do we say? We're born as fools into a satanic world, right?
Everybody's a little devilish.
Everybody's a little devilish. This is hell. This is the closest thing to hell that we're ever going to see. And the underworld is actually the Duat, which is our place of rest, if you will, or place to where we go if we don't make the union with God or the understanding of our creation. The Allspark in the Transformers movie, the two pyramids coming together at the Louvre in Paris, where the Allspark is, the spark gap, because we are the spark gap, right? We, between us and God, is the spark gap, right? That's how I see it.
That was the little dog, Sparky. I may call him Toto, but that's pretty funny, Toto, because it was about your soul, your feet, your toes.
And religions are divisions of the dualistic nature of humanity. And, you have to understand that duality is a means of working it out, of figuring it out. I mean, without duality, there would be no friction, there would be no creation. That's why the creator created the demiurge, which is via us, because with coupling with the creator, God, we create the light, the all-spark.
That goes back to that picture. Remember the one you had of the ping thing over top, that the human man, the one that had the bullseye over the top of his head.
Yeah.
Because a battery won't work without the negative and the positive. And
right.
I think that's why it's always three.
Right. And you gotta remember that the polarity of that of the, like, okay, say Earth. Earth has this magnetosphere, which is the infinity symbol. Now, where that infinity symbol crosses at the middle is the point source of all creation. It's the allspark. And we create that. It's like here's how I see it as far as the Big Bang. The Big Bang is actually that allspark of creation. It's what completes the loop and ends the loop. The beginning and the end, the 1 and the 13. You know what I mean? The all and the one, you know, the alpha and the omega. It's that crossing, and that's another reason why the light is shaped as a cross, is because at the middle of the infinity symbol is the cross. You know, it's the crossover where negative becomes positive, positive becomes negative, and it just keeps looping. You know,
Right.
and it is the age of Pisces symbolized in the fish, where the infinity symbol is cut off at the tail, so we can't complete the loop of creation. Is that what's going on here? You know, we have to think about that. You know, is that why there's that Pisces symbol and we're going to Aquarius? You know, and the age of knowing versus the age of faith, of believing, because that's where we were. That's where we currently are in our collective consciousness is belief, and people put their beliefs into who they are. They actually align themselves with what they believe, and if anybody says anything different from what they believe, then they fight about it.
And it's like the one world religion, because that's really what we all want, is one way of life where we all can live in harmony and have our piece of pie and be in happiness. Because I mean, that's just the way, the truth, the way in life. It's what we all want.
Right. And then Peace, Love, and Sunshine says, I think the heart is the connection to source. Oh, no,
Yeah.
that's Trina. Trina Phoenix. Hi, Trina. How are you, sweetheart? She
And
says
that goes back to your seed.
the heart is the connection to source. And
Right.
I believe it's both, guys, because they're arguing about, or not arguing, but debating about, is it the pineal gland that Eric said that the pineal gland is the connection to source, and Trina says it's the heart that's the connection to the source. But you got to understand that pineal gland and the heart are the two. You make them one, and you understand.
The heart and mind become one.
Yes.
Because you got to remember, there's two hearts. There's the HART, and that's down in your bowels. That's where the seed is, I believe. Because even when, like, a crown for strawberries, the crown, you bury it right above the dirt. If you bury the crown below the dirt, it'll get waterlogged. So the crown is the belt, you know, that's keeping in that symbol I keep showing you. You know what I mean? That's Orion's belt, really.
Right. And there's no coincidence that there's 3 at the belt, and then there's 7 in total stars, I believe, that make up the Orion constellation, if I'm not mistaken. You know, the 4 on the corners, and then the 3 in the middle. Right. So yeah, I mean, that's the 7, the 3, and there's no coincidence that the 7, 5, and 3 are what our formula for creation is, and it's they're prime numbers. You know, they're only divisible by themselves.
I believe it happens between the two hearts, the HEART and the HART, which would be, it's in between, would be your stomach. That's where you feel the butterflies. That's where you feel the sick pit in your stomach. You know, your feelings come from your gut.
Yeah, that's quite true. When you get a gut feeling, then you know that's what your instinct should be driven by. And people tend to ignore their gut feelings a lot. And I think in a fear aspect, that our gut feeling is the flight aspect of our, you know, because when we're scared, we tend to pay more attention to what we're doing, you know, or what's going on around us.
That's why it has to be taught. Fear has to be taught in movies. Some people live through it, you know what I mean, but all don't experience it that way. So they go to learn that through movies, to learn fear.
Or to experience without the consequences.
Exactly.
Yes. And the consequences of our creation are, we're going to die. We're not going to be here. We're not going to be here in our physical sense. And when we die, I believe, because my dad had this look in his eyes when he was dying that, you know, he was scared. But then the last look he gave me was
Knew it was gonna be
like
okay.
like bewilderment, like aha, like what the hell, why we were fooled our whole freaking existence, because my dad towards the last years of his life, he started going to church and bringing me there. And funny thing is that the church I started going to was brought before me because something came up, but I got their phone number and it was the last three digits were 333, and I was already going to the church. It wasn't why I went to the church, but it was just weird.
You
But
got me all screwed up. Even on my vape pen, I got it on 33.3.
yeah,
Because
but
that
I mean,
third that's what's going to be burned off, everybody. A third of man will be utterly destroyed. That means that, that Satan that sits on your shoulder there, that
your
part.
egotistical matrix that you have in your head of the I am and who you are and what you stand for and what's true to you and what's this and what's that. When you let that go, I think that's the third. I think you're right. I think that's when the third of humanity will die, is when we get rid of our ego and we make our acceptance of what our creation truly is, and it's all about
Well,
the
sorry, see.
no. Go ahead.
The Christians, they really get, Satan fell like a bolt of lightning. He fell, but what if he fell in love and he fell hard like a bolt of lightning? You know what I mean? That was becoming Christ.
Right, right, and Satan to me now is me, really, because
Yeah.
I'm my own worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what the reincarnation cycle is to face that enemy and to slay that dragon.
Mm-hmm.
The Exodus story of the Bible is the same. They it led his people from out of Egypt, out of bondage,
That
and went
that
through.
pillar of fire at night.
Right.
That'd be awesome, because that's really why they stuck the needle in their eye to hit that mirror in the back, so they could have that mirror reflect the light at nighttime, so they could see like a cat.
Yeah.
That's that mirror, or what was it? Cross your heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye, so you could
Yeah, and it's
freaking.
no coincidence that your vision is crossed at your optical nerve either. Or, at your where your vision is processed in your brain, it's crossed over.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
to
it does
cross as
the same
well.
thing. Right. It does the same thing as you look out. That's why the sun looks bigger when it comes into your focal point of that cone. That's why it looks bigger. That's why it was bigger in that picture, that mirror, where the guitar was upside down.
Hmm.
That's really what them two symbols on everybody's shirts really showing.
Right. The another thing is that the cross is the center of all things. You find the center of all things, and then with
Yep.
that comes the understanding of the knowledge. Because you can have knowledge all day long. You can know things. You can be the latest champion on Jeopardy and know everything. But if you just know things and memorize things without the understanding, that knowledge means squat. You know.
Exactly. Well, I think that's the difference between book smart and street smart. You know what I mean? 'Cause all
Right.
growing up, I wasn't very book smart, but I could jerry rig something.
Jerry rig. Boom boom. And extremists suffer the effects of experimentation. He explains it best, I think. He really done his research. Who, Bonacci? Bonacci he's gone off the deep end as far as some things, but yeah, he does explain the Christos, the physical manifestation of our spiritual mindset. I suppose. To me, I what's up with that, dude? What's up with that?
I was playing the garden, man.
You starting
No,
a nail salon or what?
I was playing the guitar. We had our middle child here. He finally graduated from all that Job Corps and stuff, got certified and all that, welding and all that. So he come here, hung out with us a couple days.
Right. I'm getting heavy into astrology. Astrology is the signs that you will see signs in heaven and or in the heavens and the earth. Astrology is the the coupling of spiritual and physical manifestation. I believe it's the roadmap of our vision, I suppose, of our, you know, it's like how the Hebrew alphabet or the Hebrew alphabet with the Aleph and the, how you can close your eyes. You take your hands and you can close your eyes, and any way you move your hands, you can visualize the way your hands are. Just by, you don't have to look at them. You don't have to go like this and look at your hands. You just know in your mind what that looks like. And the Hebrew alphabet are all from, you know, it's from one, they're shadows of one of your hand, and, you know, this shape or something like that, like a flame. It looks like a flame, actually, you know. And they say that Phil Tannen, that the Miro Institute, MERU, you guys got to look into that. That's pretty deep stuff. And it's like, you can, it's like the like I said before, the boundary at which software becomes the like software, how software controls the hardware. It's that point at which that happens, you know, where the software or where thought becomes manifest.
Exactly, because that goes right back to your brains and your heart or whatever. Because when it's same with a RAM card, you know, and a computer on sleep mode, you know, it's not, there's nothing running. It's just there to, it tells it if the mouse moves to wake you up, like same way you get shaken to wake up. But I don't load bitterness or nothing on my RAM cards, so I don't dream, or you know what I mean. I sleep sound. You know, I don't. Last time I was anger in my heart with my job and stuff. That was the last time I dreamed. But then that was the point I realized it's my own taking it over onto that side. I carried it.
They say that if you have, I was just talking to Dylan, and he lives in Cali, Colombia, and he lives in a violent culture. And I apologize, Dylan, if you see this, that I haven't called you or anything, but he is heavily into the Emerald tablets. You know, he's pretty well versed in them. And he, first thing he did was cite the key to Shambhala to me. And, you know, if anybody has followed my channel and seen that when I got into that gematria stuff, that I went to gematria and entered my name, and the first thing that correlated with my name that had the same set of numbers was the key to Shambhala. You know, and the key to Shambhala is the ending of the Emerald tablets. It's, you know, the ending prayer to the, you know, it's El Surhim, El Sabrut, Zer Ephraim, El Shabel. I forget. I'm gonna have to look it up now. But it was weird. I talked to him, and he is really worried about, because he said he was victimized or targeted in Colombia, and that people around him are dying of this. And this guy is only 23, 25 years old. And I was just taken aback by how his age and the stuff he was talking about. You know, he's talking about, you know, the Emerald tablets. People of 25 years old, when I was 25 years old, I wasn't thinking about nothing other than money and sex. That's all I was thinking about. You know, so I told him, you're pretty well ahead of the curve there, brother. You know, but
Waking up early.
Right. But he's really on the negative train where, you know, and in the same breath, he understands that focusing on, my point with all this is when you focus on nothing but negative, and they and them are doing this to us, then I believe you propagate it. As odd as that may sound, being ignorant to it isn't a way to go either. You have to know things exist, like our criminal element in our government, you know, the deep state or whatever the hell you want to call it. What?
They want out of the box too, Steve. Shh, don't tell them.
Well, yeah. Well, they want out of the box, or they want to control the damn box, you know?
Yeah, but they give us everything we need. They give us everything to destroy ourselves and everything, free ourselves. They gave us the books.
Right. The whole thing with the government though is the censorship thing. That's what's fucking pissing me off most of all because it's creeping into YouTube. You
Mm,
cannot talk about something that has nothing to, you're not demeaning anybody like that video that I got the community guideline strike about, which really perturbed me. You know, the first strike I got with the copyright strike, I could understand that because it's a money hungry Gaia, you know, and Braden,
mm.
that freaking whatever he is.
Well, it
Yeah,
is the bottomless pit of corruption.
right.
That's
The
what
bottomless
it is.
pit is the abyss of our egotistical self, I believe, you know, in
Well, the
allegory.
corruption. We're born into corruption.
Right. We are corrupt until we lose the
Hmm.
selfishness and turn it into selflessness. That's the alchemy of our existence. And that's what we are truly are here for, is to transmute the dark into the light, right? But to get back to that the community guideline strike that I got, it was voicing against the means in which, like the 9/11, that was the start of it. You know, the towers, that falling, that was the start of our freaking powers, the powers that be taking away, you know, the criminal element of the powers that be, because I believe there's a faction in our government that is good as well as
Yeah.
bad. It's just like everything else.
Well, it
But
kind of woke a lot of people up to that there's this war going on behind the curtain too. You know, a spiritual war.
right, but all of this really truly started when JFK got murdered, but we all
Mm,
know this.
yeah.
But the same people, the same group propagated the 9/11 attack. Okay, I'm not saying that they did it themselves, but they were behind the planning of it, or the ignoring of it, or you know. And then what happens? The Islamic boogeyman's born. And what does that do? It turns the East against the West. It
Hmm.
turns the white man, the American man or woman against the Islamic man and woman. So it draws a line in the sand. It gets us where we got to go to get the oil, to get the, you know, all of this other shit, right?
It was the
So
same way.
all, yeah, all of this stuff is a means to an end in their eyes, because what do they fear the most? What does the evil faction in our government fear the most? The people rising up against them, as our Constitution gave us the right to do,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
But that
so
goes back to you can't please damn masses, man. You know what I mean? This chicken's too small. This phone sucks. It don't pick up. You know, it's
right.
they please
So what
everybody.
happens? What happens is they take away the rights one by one. The Patriot Act, which was rescinded, but aspects of it remain. Like like how a government official can give a warrant to give a policeman the right to break into your house just because a policeman called them over the phone, and they consider it a uh, homeland defense issue, or a you know what I mean? How they put a blanket term over, you know, like, okay, we believe this guy is a drug dealer, we believe this guy is involved in this sort of thing, and they're feeding the Islamic boogeyman machine. So okay, we'll give you a warrant just because you deem it necessary that you have to go, you know, just over the phone without any grand jury or any really true insight into the situation. Okay, now
Was
that was the first thing that happened with our rights getting taken away, was that. Then the anonymous communication was taken away from us. There is no more payphones anywhere. Payphones are gone. Okay, you may see them in an airport, but there's a camera watching you make the phone call. Okay, right? I mean, there is no way you can make an anonymous phone call in America anymore.
yeah.
And I
Well,
bet you
who do you think owns all the gas stations around here?
uh, probably Islamics,
Yep,
probably,
the Indians.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a war in Afghanistan, but they're handing them the keys to all the gas stations around here
Yeah,
to
but
give.
this
Start.
is what I mean. How you got that in your mind about them? Them are us, man. They are the same as us. But the only reason why we believe them to be different is because that is what's being spoon fed to us.
Well, no,
That
they are different. Ain't nobody giving me
they ain't.
money to open up a
They ain't
gas station.
different. They ain't
No,
different.
yeah, they are.
Who
They
makes
get
them different, Jerry? They
the
do.
laws do. The laws, they get 7
Who
years.
makes the laws? They do. Who makes the
Exactly.
laws?
They tell you there's a war in
So they're not
Afghanistan.
different
Oh,
from us, though. They're not different. They want the same things we do,
their
dude.
right, yeah, their rights are different. They
No,
can
they
come
ain't.
over here and get
Well, yeah, of course, because who makes them rights for us?
of not paying taxes and then sell the gas station to their brother for $1.
Now, I went through this whole thing with the Hmongs when I was younger. When the Hmongs came into our existence from Vietnam or wherever they came from, you know what, from Laos or whatever.
Right.
Remember the dissent we felt when we felt like we were being intruded upon, and we were led to believe that they were completely different from us.
Well,
Sure, their culture is
right
different, the way they live is different, but they're the same essentially as us. They want the same things we do.
That, but I'm saying they're treated different. They got more rights than we got.
By who?
By the government.
There you go. That's my point.
Them.
That's my point. That's my point. And that's what I'm getting at with this whole censorship. This whole censorship thing is stems. That's what all of that is for, is to create the illusion of difference is in our existence, so they can propagate an agenda, which is to override and ultimately control us to a point to where we cannot, like the social credit thing that's going on. They're going to start the social credit system, and they're going to say, well, if you don't do this, if you like me right now, if they get wind of this video and my score was up to a 5 or a 10 or whatever the scale is, and they get wind of this video and I'm talking against the government saying, Trump's a fucking gump and saying Bush is a fucking push and they're all a bunch of fucking idiots. I voted for Trump. Trump, to me, his words were as good as gold to me. He's going to make America great again. He's going to do this again. He's going to, fuck the wall bullshit, because the wall is a bunch of bullshit. No matter what you build, it's not going to keep people that want a better life out of America. And you know what's going to keep people out of America?
Right, what we were just talking about.
Making it so America is not a better fucking life, and that's what's happening. That's what's happening here.
It's better for everybody else.
I'd rather be in fucking Mexico, on a fucking mountain somewhere than, here being oppressed and, like the YouTube thing. This is what pisses me off. I make a video, mirror a video, voicing this same shit I'm talking about. And I'm getting worked up here because of the censorship thing. And we are founded, our fucking country is founded upon free speech, freedom to bear arms, the right to bear arms against your government, against anybody who oppresses you. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what all this shit, the Vegas thing, the 9/11, the thing in New Zealand, the thing over the Notre Dame Cathedral, the shit in Sri Lanka, all of this is to take away our freedom to choose to do what we want to do or say what we want to do. The social credit system, same thing. They're trying to impose that shit upon us so we adhere to a certain agenda or aspect of what is in their eyes or whoever's eyes the way it should be, so they can make out for profit from it. Who's always left in the fucking hole? Mm-hmm. Us. Whether you're Asian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you're white, black, green, or otherwise, if you're not of that select 1% or 0.1% group that makes all of these fucking decisions in the world, and I'm not just saying in America, in the world, because that's what it's coming down to. The New World Order is here already, guys. Corruption. The New World Order is already here because it's all a fucking stage. They're all playing games just to make us believe that they are different from us. And until we all come together and stand against that, we're fucked. The Yellow Vest movement is the closest thing we've come to in our era that is going to come close to even putting a crack in the foothold of the fucking evilness that we face. And the evilness to me is the censorship of what you have to say, because everybody should have a soapbox to stand on to speak. Everybody. I don't care if you're a flat earther, and the flat earth thing in our standard alternative media is another way they used, another thing the CIA used to divide us. Mm-hmm. Just like the mud flood shit, just like the flat earther shit, just like the glober shit.
Everything. It's always something.
Everything is to create division.
Yep.
And we need to fucking come together and kick dirt in the face of these son of bitches. These SOBs what are we going to do? This video probably is going to give me another guideline strike, and I probably won't be able to live stream now. No bullshit. But a motherfucker over in New Zealand can live stream on YouTube a massacre, and then everybody call it fake. You know, that's another way they're trying to control it, because people on alternative media running around saying them people didn't die. That's all a bunch of crisis actors. But you go over there. I know one person in New Zealand. They said this shit definitely wasn't fake. People died. It may have been orchestrated by some fucking, because how can a guy hold a gun up to people that are in red clothing and not shoot them? You know, he comes in the middle of this shooting. He's shooting people. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. The people are all cowering in the corner, you know, trying to stay away from the bullets. Husbands and wives are shielding their kids. And all of a sudden the guy runs out of nowhere, runs outside to shoot somebody that's getting away. Out of nowhere. He just stops shooting and runs outside to shoot somebody. Well, when he runs outside to shoot somebody, he sees somebody in a car, points the gun at him, doesn't shoot. Why? Because the motherfucker was wearing red. What's up with that? You know? Now, that's the thing that I was propagating, you know, how everybody's running around on YouTube saying that it was all CGI and all crisis actors and this and that. And the people that are saying this are like the High Impact Flicks guy, you know, the guy that's got 500 freaking subs. You know, why are they able to propagate that shit? You know, but then once you go against that, I'm censored. I got a video repeal email from these son of a bitches on YouTube about, you know, that because I appealed the decision to demonetize my channel. I already demonetized my own channel before they did. And it seems that ever since I've demonetized my channel, that they're against me now. You know what I mean? Because I'm not making them money through advertisement.
Right. No commercials.
Right. Right. Exactly. It's all about the fucking money. And the money is our biggest enemy. Yep. Money is our biggest enemy. Think about it. You go to work, you toil all day long for what? What do we get in the end, guys? What do we get in the end for going to fucking work?
To do it again the next day because you didn't make enough that day.
And hate your fucking existence. And what the biggest part of that whole treadmill of our world is that you do not get to focus on what really matters. What really matters is a spiritual aspect of who we are.
Exactly.
And we cannot focus on that except for on Sunday, and we can go to some fake ass church that is propagating some fake ass bullshit.
That's gonna tell you they raped their father. They ain't never heard of the naked truth.
Right. Yeah. Or you're going to a church that the preachers, you know, boofing some altar boy and scaring the shit out of him, wanting him to kill himself later in life, or do the same thing to other kids.
You remember what I told you Barabbas means, right? You know, Barabbas was one with Jesus. So when you read it, Barabbas means son of the Father. So everybody's hollering, free the son of the Father, free the son of the Father. So Jesus thinks he's talking to him, that he's getting ready to get walked.
Spartan, yep, my father's side is Irish. Soldiers from year 1000 came to America in the 1400s. Paid by the French and Spanish to hunt down the Knights Templar. Yep, and Pope controls commerce and owns the souls in the Holy See. The trap is set through taxes and laws. Right, exactly. Just like a ship berthing at a dock, unloading goods via received a receipt. And that whole ship and the whole maritime thing is so true, because when you're on a ship, you have your berth in the ship, where you sleep, you know, and you're berthed at a port when the ship does, you know, and we're berthed on this planet. But it doesn't mean it's all contrived. It doesn't mean it's all evil. It's just the maritime aspect of it. The solar boat is the light. You know, the like the Viking ship or the solar boat of Ra is the light itself, and that's the same as the lion's mane. You know, that's why there's a lion effigy on Mars. That's why there's a Sphinx here. You know, I mean, these are all venerated symbols of what really matters to us. And people are getting so close on YouTube now lately to getting it right when they're doing Sphinx videos and all this, but they're still stuck on the physical manifestation part of it. What is it? Pyramids to me are symbolic of us. in the ascension process, bringing the four together into the center of all things, making it the fifth, the diamond that shines through the cosmos. You know, like the obelisks are just, forgive my French, are just dicks sticking out of the earth. You know, phalluses. You know, into the earth or into the cosmos, which is the womb of creation.
The Pisces, that's the vagina. Every time you see
Yeah,
them pictures, you're
right.
looking through the matrix.
And
No.
what is the Pisces when you turn it on its side? It's the freaking eye in the middle.
Yep.
You know, and it's the same as that, like you said, right here. That's just like the Pisces, but you know, there's a cross on each side. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the vortex mass principle.
How many arrows is that anyhow? That's 4 arrows, right?
Yeah, it's 4. It's 2 going in and 2 going together.
Yep. So on your triple X would be 6. Because there's 7 seals.
Right. And people are talking about, we got Brandy Robinson up in the house. How you doing, sweetheart? Corpse Corporation, dead laws. Yep, well, my mom gave birth to me and they made us give consent via birth certificate and receipt. And like Jerry was saying, they get stamp your fucking footprint, you know, who you are when you come into this world on a piece of paper, your birth certificate.
Your birthright, your most valuable rights.
Yes, and the Social Security number is a way to track us through the taxation of our toiling, the taxation of our toiling. You know, here's another thing I wanted to touch on, the whole taxation thing. You get this 401k program, okay? You get all of this retirement funding. You go to take that fucking money out, they tax you again on it, man.
Or you'll lose it if the economy goes down.
Yeah, because you got it in shares in the So what you think is really yours isn't yours, just like your house, just like anything, like our fucking European phone standard thing that they got now, you know? Why do they do? Why? Because I remember when cell phones in America, you owned the son of a bitch. It was yours, you know? Now it's European standard. Who controls the internet now? Who makes all the decisions on the internet? The EU. Why? Because Obama let them. You know? And who is Obama? He's the same as Trump. Who is Trump? He's the same as Hillary. You know, who's Hillary? Hillary's just like Bush.
Well, it goes back to the Catholic thing. We run out of the garden by the Catholics, by the Chaldeans.
Right. And Kim Jong-un over in North Korea. Who is he? He's the same as Bush, Hillary, Trump, Obama. All the same. They're all a bunch of fucking actors. If anybody's a crisis actor in this damn world, it's them. It's our politicians. It's our government. You know, the face of our government anyway. I believe there's good in our government, but the whole system is flawed, and we're fucked until we change it.
The System of a Down, remember that song? System of a Down. Toxicity.
Right. It's just a big fucking shit show. I mean, if you're going to blow up a country with an atomic bomb, do it already and get it over with, because I'm sick of fucking hiding underneath my desk. You know? Think about that. Back in the 50s when these kids were hiding underneath desks because they thought the fucking atomic bomb was coming down. Why?
They taught us that in school. Go in the hallway and you put your head down.
Yeah. It's a bunch of bullshit. You know? Fearing somebody that just because they are Islamic or just because they're Muslim or just because they are Asiatic or just because they are black, just because they're white, just because they're mulatto, just because this or that is nonsense. Because at our heart, we all have a heart and we all want the same thing.
Amen,
which is to survive and do right by who we love. You know, and if we propagate that outward, love one another like you love yourself, nothing can touch us, people. Nothing. And this government can't even touch us. But we have to take up something and do something about what's going on right now. We can't just talk about it on YouTube. You know, we have to do something about it. We have to stir up the pot, guys. You know, what are we going to do about it? You know, we can sign these.
Steve, where I'm at, if it went down to it, you know what I mean? I got my garden, I got my guns. I can run a trout line. I can skin a buck. You know what I mean? I try to I try to do as much of my stuff as I can myself, you know, canning things and jellies and jams and peaches and
And
see.
Eric Salcido or Sakido says there's too many asleep to do anything. They live the movie. The fight scene at the end, and because he didn't want to put on the glasses to see the truth. He's making reference to that Rowdy Rodney Piper movie that he made. They Live, isn't that what it was called? They Live.
I don't watch a lot of movies, dude.
No, this is an old movie that everybody references on YouTube. That the guy had the glasses and he'd see billboards differently when he put the glasses on.
Oh yeah, I know
Would
what you're
say
talking
conform or this or that, and
about. Yeah.
that's essentially what our society has become coming down to, is that we all have to conform to the general consensus of the elite, the ones that are really living their life to the fullest, because they're riding the backs of us, And I'm not talking about money gain. I'm not talking about none of that shit. All of the stuff that I'm recently learning about, as far as the esoteric, the inward looking, the religious, the real religious, the esoteric spiritual, I guess I should say, because religion is a FUBAR word now, and I don't blame people for thinking that way, because religion is a control construct, and I agree with that.
Life.
Yeah, way of life, yes. But I mean, the esoteric spiritual aspect of what we really are is what spirit is all. We have our soul, we have our spirit, and we have our physical manifestation, the ba and the ka. And to me, what matters most to me is finding myself within myself, who I truly am. And that is slaying your dragon and seeing life and creation for what it really is, how the universe works, how it expands, how it contracts, how everything is a hero's journey, from a movie to a seed in the ground,
Nothing
to
else matters.
huh?
The song "Nothing Else Matters."
Nothing else matters, right? Nothing else matters but that to me. And I've learned a lot from a lot of people, from people that I've conversed with, you included, Jerry, several on this chat right here. And I stick to what I think is right. And what I think is right is that love, one, like you love yourself. Yeah, first you have to love yourself, obviously. If you don't love yourself, you ain't going to do anybody any good trying to love them.
I love me a lot.
So do I. That's why I go through a lot of lotion. No, I'm just kidding. I put the lotion on the skin. I love that movie. But yeah, the movies are a means for us to experience fear without consequence. And speaking to that fear with consequence is, why do people have latent memories of like drowning, or the fear of water, or fear of heights? Why is that? Why do you have these innate fears that are with you from birth?
And that's the only time I really dream like you're falling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really feel like you're falling, because you really got to go down to go up. And is that why they teach us on the roller coaster? Because when you go down, you swallow your stomach. You know what I mean? How when do I got to go down the roller coaster to get that shit to go up top where it's supposed to be? You know what I mean?
And why do we, in our physical manifestation, enjoy that adrenaline fear? Why? Because it makes you feel alive. Is that why we choose to reincarnate here? Even if we make the ascension, if we make that divine coupling with God, we still get a choice to come back here or not if we want.
Yeah, but
I believe
that we're coming to a time when the meek inherit earth.
I think the meek inherit the earth at the end of every cycle, Jerry. I think this whole thing happens over and over again. I believe that's the case. And I believe that's where all of these underground cities and shit come from, is because the people that inherit the earth have to dig a hole in the ground to live.
Yeah, no. There's something happening, a bigger plan here happening.
I think that's what the cycle within the cycle within the cycle is about, man.
Young people are waking up, it's different. That's where the elders, men of old renown, ones that's recycled through this thing more times. We've kept the knowledge.
Paula's up in the house. What's up, Paula? She says, love your enemy as you would love yourself always.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I joke and say I love me a lot. You know what I mean? Because if I love me, that means I gotta love my enemy or anybody. You know, but some people you just build more of a bond with.
Spartan says that he drowned bad. Brandy says, I got blocked on Jeff D show after 3 years. What's up with that?
I
Anya
did too.
said I outgrew him. Ain't that the truth? Jeff Doherty is a censorship mushroom. He likes to bloom in censorship. If you say anything against Jeff Doherty, or if you say anything differently in his chat, he'll block you, because that's what happened to me. Because I wasn't adhering to the conversation that they were having on actually that whole situation with Jeff Doherty and Jay Campbell, I got kicked out of that Decoders of Truth group that I've been part of forever.
He fed off me for many years, Steve. You know, that Adam and Eve becoming one flesh, the twin flame. That wasn't what I was talking about. I was talking about, your masculine and feminine, your right and left hemisphere brain. But he took it somewhere else. But yeah, and it was the same way after, I don't know, 2-3 years, wasn't too long ago. He finally blocked me.
Right. I mean, Jeff, he wants to act like he's this or that. He's just like me. I'm just like him. I held no qualms against him, but I just wish he wouldn't censor so much. And
I think he's in a bigger plan than what we even know. There's more going on behind the scene.
I don't know. I think he's just a soul lost, that just like the rest of us.
You know our government better than that. They're gonna make sure they win. They're gonna put people out there to keep an eye on things.
He wants game, I think. Jeff D told me I was Stockholm syndrome. That's Aaron Johnson says that.
I asked him if I was the devil, and he said it was too stupid to ask. And then remember, they read my cards and they pulled the devil card on me. I already knew that before I even asked it. And then rods
had that set up. Yeah, I used to care about growing my channel via like going on Rex's show and this or that. But it seems that anytime you talk about spiritual matters, it's like you're a pariah, or it's like you're not accepted in a way. If you don't do the fear mongering bullshit that everybody's doing on YouTube, they don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
If you don't say the economy is going to fail, you're going to, people are going to die, or, the earthquake's going to happen, or, this or that, or, Project Blue Book, or all of this other shit that creeps into our consciousness. If you don't propagate that, people don't want to talk to you. And, it seems like the bigger channels are the ones that propagate that fear shit. Think about it. I mean, that's all they talk about.
That's why I say,
obviously advertising.
Ain't going to lose. They're going to put people out there they need.
What's in the word of advertisement? Adversary, I mean, the adverts, they're against you. They're, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to propagate things not for the betterment, but for profit, just.
But they already know.
Have you noticed recently that the electric car thing is coming out big?
Yeah. They putting them in there at the mall. They got all kind of gas pumps or, fueling stations.
Charging stations, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's just angry. Who's angry? Brandy totally agreed. Married to one. Ex-military are chipped. Chipped. You mean as RFID chipped, or got a chip on their shoulder? I've never been out of line, but I did say everyone should check out the Thunderbolts project. What was that wrong? Exactly. That I got kicked out of that channel because of the same shit. And then I did a live stream of me being kicked out of the channel, and then I got kicked off of Decoders of Truth because of it.
Wow. Steve, I'll tell you honestly, man, I don't watch many many videos anymore. I watch you and Paula and one or two others. I really
That's what I was
don't.
just getting at. The same thing here, man, is I don't, yeah, I've been watching surfing videos and mud run videos and rock climbing videos, of trucks and stuff like, that make me happy, because of
Mhm.
the stuff on YouTube is just a bunch of recycled stuff that we've already heard. I'm not saying
Mhm.
it's all wrong. I'm not saying it's nonsense,
Well,
but
we've been at this so long now. I
right.
mean,
And that's right. And what have we learned? What have we learned from that? What do we learn? Where do we learn the best and most information from?
I just pull it from the universe. Yeah,
When you go
I go.
inside your own head. When you go inside your own head. It's amazing how you can come up with answers if you go to bed on it.
A
If
lot of
you
people fed me though. I mean, there's been a lot of people with help with good words and good sayings.
Yes, I'm not saying that that doesn't help. Right. Conversations like we're having now help, obviously. But I mean, you have to. I think God and good is the same word. Word good was hijacked by popes. Right.
That's funny because I said they turned good for bad and bad for good a long time ago when they said wizards were bad, which really was
Right.
the wicked. Meant they were good at their trade. You know what I mean? You're a wizard stoner.
Well, it's like the word Google. Go ogle or ogle or ogle at something. Go look at it.
Go
You
look, right?
go look. You know, to an area near you soon. The final exodus.
Yeah, I see the grand illusion coming.
Sandy, how are you, sweetheart? Haven't seen you in a while. I'll tell you about the chip later. I think you've already told me about the chip, Brandy. The way is out.
Which
The
was a
way.
good thing. That is a good thing because if you went to Vietnam and got lost and had a chip, they could find your ass. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was
Well,
some
you
people.
know what the chip now is? The transhumanist interface, which is this.
Yeah,
The
everybody's got
scythe
one.
mirror, the fucking sigil, or the black mirror. You
Well,
know,
me.
we can't live without this thing, man.
Uh,
People are attached at the hip with these damn things.
but you
They
know
cannot
me.
think for themselves without these things now.
Well, I don't have a cell phone number. I don't have a Facebook. I don't have a bank account. I don't. You know, I can't keep that phone just so I can communicate with others. But all that stuff's just garbage to me anymore.
What's up, Avery? How are you? Steve, have you watched Neville Goddard? I don't believe so. I will, though. I'll check it out. They put one in my dad in 91. Yeah, you were talking about that, Brandy. I remember you saying that. But yeah, there's several people on YouTube like Ken Wheeler. He's a really smart guy, but he made a video recently about being stalked by somebody and the death threats and whatnot. Well, he made a comment on that video that he ignores people that he thinks is crazy.
Hmm.
And I was subscribed to his channel and I joined his special subscription thing where you pay $5 a month and you get inside
Right.
information and you get more contact with him. Well, I asked him several questions on YouTube, during his live streams because that's what he said to do. And every time he would ignore me or he would say, "You want me to answer that question on a live stream?" And there were questions like,
Wow.
"What do you think the black hole is?" Or "What do you think? Do you think the black hole is one and the same as the Milky Way galaxy?" Are we residing in a point source emission? Meaning, are we residing in a black hole? Because that's what a black hole is a point source, just like a laser light. A laser light is a point source light emission. Well, the black hole is the opposite of that, which is the point source uh, immersion or inversion. It's the inversion of the light, which is the laser. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because the laser light is different from regular light, where laser light is point source, regular light is illumination, or is and so. But anyway, my point with this is I asked him questions like that along those lines, which whatever weren't big. But I mean, then during that video that he made, he said he ignores people that he think are crazy just so they go away. So what did I do? I went away. You know?
Well, I'm glad you learned my language.
Yeah. And what's that? Swahili?
You remember how it was when we
Yeah, I
first started
remember.
this?
I remember. Totally remember. Yeah, I mean, to this day, you still confuse me sometimes when you text message me. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? If I didn't see it and touch it, it didn't happen. Tracking device, microphone, recorder, the system in pocket form of AKA cell phone. Correct. And people on the 5G fear wagon are saying that the 5G is going to be a way to constantly keep tabs on us. I say that's already happening. That happened when they took away the payphones, and 9/11 was the start of it. Then 9/11 morphed into the government selling the analog TV bandwidth to Google for the smartphone generation or propagation, because that's what happened. I worked for Comcast at the time when all of a sudden, you know, there's no more analog TV where your rabbit ears weren't going to pick up shit. You had to get it.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
Sorry, but I still believe we run on analog. That's how they can tap into us. That's why they had to get rid of it. It was interfering with us, with you know, hacking us. They can hack a computer. They can hack us.
GT Lambus makes a good point. I've spent my life listening and learning from the Bible. At 47, I still believe and haven't found any reason not to. I can't prove the Bible wrong, but I can prove it true. Very true. If you see it through the eyes of a person that doesn't see the control factor of it. Because people get stuck on this they and them and us thing with the Bible, like it's all dogmatic control. They have way better ways to control us now. Now, in the past, they've used, you know, the higher ups or like the elite or like the kings of England and whatnot used the Bible and the Crusades and shit to squash any hope in humanity, you know, and you know that you can't just because. My point with that is that yes, Bible is true. Yes, I believe the Bible now. To me, I believe that the Bible is a manual. Emmanuel. Paula has given me that word, and Levette has given me that word. You know, and it makes sense because it's a manual for ascension for the angelic.
Well, Emmanuel means God with us. Anyhow.
Yeah, all I know is that I'm suffering in a life of Emmanuel labor.
Yeah.
Yes, I just the whole thing with the you know, is the Bible worded the way it is because it's just like the Emerald Tablets say how things will be there for the truth to be found for the seeker, but then it's there also in an allegorical form or a hidden fashion so that the pearls can't be swooped up by the swine, or you know, the door will be wholly shut against the profane. You know what I mean? Is that the reason why that is?
What makes you do the work? You know what I mean? It ain't real easy, so shows yourself approved. You know,
right.
You really gotta buckle down and hunt for it.
Right.
Did you see that video we did of the bronze serpent?
Which one?
With Paula, but the bronze serpent was a leather instrument. A serpent is an
instrument. Yeah. I've heard about that actually. Yeah.
And they came and camped, or the word could be pitched, but you know, pitch would be a note on an instrument anyhow.
Or the shit on your roof, right? You know, the first instrument was a lyre. It was actually called a lyre.
Yeah. Because my book gives you the name of it, you know what I mean? Because I thought that was interesting when it said we'd sing to the stringed instruments. I'm all for that. I love music.
Peace, Love, and Sunshine says only path to real social change is removing your kids from Jew school. We should be teaching our own kids. Did you mean Jew?
Well, that's been lost anyhow. All the old people don't know how to can nothing. People don't know how to make wine. People don't know how to make moonshine. People don't know how to clean a deer. You know what I mean? People don't know nothing about soils and all the tricks of the trades that's been lost.
Right. And without the skills, and I believe that most of that is in our society because everything is handed to us on a silver platter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was on freaking Craigslist the other day, and they're selling some guy selling a 3D printer for $300. A 3D printer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you can make, and this is the key. This is what the Atlanteans used to use. They say when Atlantis was a physical place, manifest. I don't know if that's true or not, but they say that the technology they had, they would make a miniature, and some 3D process would transform it from miniature to the macrocosmic of it. You know, so you could miniaturize your house, and boom, it would become your friggin' house. You know, big enough for you to live in. Now, tell me that. I think all of that though is still allegory for the do-what, because in the do-what we are creators. We can create anything through our mentalism. You know, we think it's true. Just like here, we have to go through the processes of creation, which are first you have to think about it, then you have to vibrate on it, which is motion. You know, and then you know you have to toil in it, which is the rhythm and the polarity. And then, you know, you make a sandwich. The cause and effect of it is it going to be fattening? Is it going to affect you? You know, right? I mean, and
well, that's why every commercial is a food commercial on TV. You know,
food or pharma.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole pill thing. Is there a pill for it? Then I don't care. You know, and that pill, you know, okay, so you have psoriasis or whatever that shit is. You know, that causes skin discoloration and then arthritic pain or whatever it is, deep. And I'm not saying anything against that, but I'm saying the medication, they say, oh, it may cause death. It may cause, Hodgkin's lymphoma, or, you know, what do you keep looking at?
My wife.
What do you keep looking?
Oh.
April, tell her I said hi.
Steve said hello. Hi, Steve. She said it.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. She's not toiling? Why isn't she at work?
No, it's her day off.
Good for her.
Because I got surgery Tuesday. They gave her some time off so we can.
You're gonna go to the surgery this time, right, brother?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
My thoughts and energy for you, brother. I mean,
I thought a lot about that, Steve, and you know, tobacco would be so dry by the time we get it, but they put preservatives in the tobacco to keep it moist, and that's the chemical. I always smoke the Pall Mall, slow burning Pall Malls, and I guess they put more of that chemical in there to keep it moist.
Yeah, they say it's cyanide or some shit, something nide. Yep. Silicynide or something like that.
And then they put carpet glue in the paper. That's them rings of carpet glue. That's
it's the surfactant that holds the paper together?
No, it's the thing that makes it fire safe. There's like
really?
3 rings or 4 rings. There's one at, you know, so much half and then near the bottom, but they're rings of carpet glue. So if you're not puffing on it at that point, it'll go out from the glue. So that's good to smoke too.
And Brandy says, sorry to get back, Brandy says that's why so much money is spent on Hollywood. We are creating their world. Very good insight.
In the garden? Well.
Max Vision says hi to April too.
She'd like that. She likes
Aaron sending her prayers for you.
Good deal.
There is gunpowder in the rings, JT Lambeth says. GT Lambeth, sorry. And I've been getting this inclination that GT Lambeth is somebody that I miss. Could it be Lambert? You know,
that's my buddy.
GT Lambeth is?
Yeah, we grew up in school back in the day in Rockwell. Yeah, we hung out and.
Oh, that's the one you informed me about before when we first started doing live streams. Okay, yeah, cool. Well, hi, friend of a brother is a friend from another. I knew it when they started making FCC fire safe cigs. I tried buying all of the non-FCC. I could taste the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Have a hangnail, take Nailova. It may cause heart attack, stroke, seizures, paralysis. But if you're dead, you won't feel it no more. Sandy says that. This reality is the biggest joke around. Well, this reality is a joke because I believe it is the reality that we are forced to deal with to try to transmute into a better reality. That's what we are here for. The biggest reasons, the main reason why we are here, is so our pineal gland blossoms, our soul is ejaculated into the cosmos, creating the light, illumination, creating the allspark of the creative, never-ending cycle of creation.
The waters
We,
above.
yeah, we create it.
The
I
great
mean,
sea.
via union, God is the groom, we are the bride. All manifestation of creation is the bride. And when we are inseminated with the truth of all, when we are inseminated with the truth of the center of all things, which is the creative principle, the stuff I've been talking about, then when you understand it, and I'm still not there, when you understand it, you see yourself blossom into the cosmos. You become the cosmos. And that's where the all is mind comes from. You know, the transmutation of dark to light. You know, this nerve firings, the synapses, the illumination of our thought is everything. You know, thought is thought. Thought is our consciousness. You know, I could repeat verse after verse. It's like the halls of Amenti. Amenti, sit the seven, the lords of the cycles, I and another, the Lord from below. Yet know thee that in infinity there is neither above nor below, but ever there is and ever shall be oneness of all. When all is complete, oft have I journeyed to the halls of Amenti, oft have I stood before the lords of the all, oft at the fount of their wisdom have I drunken, and filled both my body and soul with their light. Spake they to me and told me of cycles and the law that gives them the means to exist. I spake to me the Lord of the Nine, saying, O Thoth, great are ye among earth's children, but mysteries exist of which ye know not. Ye know that ye came from a space-time below this, and know ye shall travel to a space-time beyond. But little ye know of the mysteries within them. Little ye know of the wisdom beyond. Know ye that ye, as a whole, in this consciousness, are only a cell in the process of growth. So, I mean, over and over, in this book, in the Bible, it's all a story of our loop of creation, over and over. The three bears, the three little pigs, you know, Goldilocks is eating the porridge. It's too hot, which is here, Earth.
Well, that great white throne that we see in the sky, and it speaks of the jasper like a rainbow around the sun, and of emerald. Now, what does emerald really mean? Is emerald green? Does emerald mean heart? Or then the heart tablets?
I think emerald is the neutral of the two and the one. You know, I think green is the green go, red stop. You know, but I think green is the or emerald color is the right place, the just right heaven. You know, that's what the color to me signifies. And I think that's why maybe money is green, you know, in America.
It's in the middle. Green.
Yeah, in the middle, right. Stuck in the middle with me. Yeah, with you.
What was that? Your heart, your HEART heart, you know, the green. Is that the emerald tablets really the heart tablets? Or you know what I mean? I'm trying to.
Well, it goes back to the Anu. The Anu is it's part of the Mesopotamian or the Sumerian creation myth, the Enuma Elish. But you know, Anu is not just the king of all gods. Anu is the force in motion, which brings everything to the center. And the Anu is our heart in us, you know, the center of all things in us. So our heart, in our heart sense, is the center of all things, and connected to the center of our galaxy, connected to the center of our universe. You know, that's the fractalization of the fractal.
The MasterCard, if the HEART is the heart and the HART is the bottom, you know, where your emotions, because that's even where a woman gets pregnant in her belly. That's where the Pisces is. That's where the MasterCard of the two hearts, the HART. I still have a hard time with that part, you know what I mean? Because I know there's more of a something there for me, another a key that I just ain't quite seen yet.
I think the key is to stop caring about the physical, Jerry, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah,
stop.
I can't do that, dude.
You have to, though. You have to.
I care about people. I care about humanity.
No, I'm not saying not care about people. I'm
Well,
saying because once you have to understand that all is mind, and once you realize all is mind, then the
yeah, but what's
physical
your mind?
manifestation is just that, a manifestation of your mind.
Is your mind in your stomach? That's the point. Is your brain there? Your
Well,
gut
your brain, I believe your actual what you go by is, you know in your heart, all the sayings, you know in your heart that this is right, you know in your heart that this is true, and those sayings aren't there for nothing. They are there because it's the truth.
Well,
Your
that's why
heart.
it said, "Don't tell fables that don't hold water." All these fairy tales had purpose.
Right, exactly. Yep. Just like all of the mother,
So
the Snow
it's
White and
hard
the Seven Dwarfs, all
it's
of them.
hard to be mad at the ones that we say are bad, but they're the same ones that gave us all these fairy tales and gave us all these answers. You know what I mean? They want us to find it. They know the spiritual church. That's the whole symbol of the eye.
Right, but I hold true to the fact that maybe that was the case, but right now the censorship being the way it is and how they're trying to stifle the message, whoever they are is not right. And
Mm.
and in my opinion, the reason why YouTube was invented or put out there, just like Facebook, Facebook had several reasons, just like it's like the Swiss Army knife of the government, where Facebook actually gets all of your thoughts, all of your impressions, all of society's take on the world, so they can manipulate it and then get everybody addicted to it via the like button, via the thumbs up, via the commenting on it. They control what's on everybody's wall, because I've posted shit on Facebook that nobody that is my friend has seen. Why is that? Every time you post something on Facebook, it should be propagated on people's walls that's your friends, right? Unless
Mm.
all my friends thought I was crazy and they just blocked my posts. But you know what I mean? But whatever, there's still people that I friended, like a friend of mine that I've been friends with for a long time, and he's still on this whole Democrats are this, they're all a bunch of liberal retards and all this and that and all this and that, and he can't see the forest through the trees. That this whole forum is set there to cause division, because they'll propagate the Muslim thing against the American thing, or look at the Muslim chopping the people's heads off. But I mean, the second you start going against that narrative, the second you're freaking kicked off Facebook or put in a timeout, a Facebook timeout, or a YouTube corner,
Yeah. I never opened that can of worms. I don't know. I ain't even got a tattoo. You know what I mean? It's just certain things
Yeah, it's funny you speak about tattoos, because my tattoo, I put this tattoo, now it's a wolf on my inner arm, and it's an upside down one facing that way, and it's like, that's a funny place for a wolf. But that wolf I overdid. I had India ink, a needle, and thread, and I did a heart with a cross, and it said love across it, and I covered it up with what image? A fucking wolf. So
did you know your wolf was going to dwell with your lamb?
Right. And at the same time, when I did this, I put another cross right here, and this was before I even thought about what a cross really meant. I just cross is cool. You go in school and you doodle things on crosses, or I did heavy metal band logos. I draw that shit out all the time, or repeatedly, or sign my name, cursive write, sign my name. I tell my kid to sign his name now. He doesn't even know how to do it, dude. It's like, are you kidding me?
They don't teach them that no more.
No, but they know what a digital signature is, don't they?
Yeah.
Or a EULA, an end user license agreement. You know, what the hell's a EULA? I don't want to know her. There's enough EULAs in my life.
Well, you remember I thought about that before, because God will give you a new name that no man knows, but you and the Father in heaven, and slightly slanted. But then I didn't realize the two trees were so that took me back to our email, because that's the name you make up, that it has to be different than anybody else's on this planet.
Yeah, because it's already taken. Right.
Exactly.
Right. And it was the whole Internet of Things that's coming around. Is that all propagation of the same control construct that they've lost with the religious control? You know what I mean? It's like how the flat earth thing dies out, and then all of a sudden Tartaria and the mud floods pop up.
Yeah.
It's like once one thing is died out, like the Nibiru thing died out to the flat earth thing, and then the flat earth thing died out to the mud flood thing.
Mandela, Pizzagate.
Yeah, Pizzagate was in the middle. But all of these things are used to take away our right to speak about them, because like Alex Jones was taken off the air because he went against Sandy Hook, saying that it was all a bunch of crisis actors.
Well, same thing I say, they saving Humpty Dumpty's butt, because they saving me. You know what I mean? They've spent a lot of money to realize you can put tuberculosis in your bladder to eat it away, but they at the same time they had to give you the cancer so they could figure out how to cure it.
Right. And people are agreeing with I was spewing truth about Chris Cornell going to bust up the human trafficking ring, and that's why he was murdered. I got blocked. Call me. LOL. Lies have been spun for truth. We know better. My son is 17 and can't sign his name either. He prints out his name on his paychecks.
Wow.
I no longer need to judge, but discernment is vital. Very true. That's peace, love, and sunshine. And then behind the eyes we see, oh, for sure, it's put out to distract. Alex Jones is a plant. I believe that too. But I mean, it's all a let's drink the 17-year-olds. Yeah, I don't drink much, but I'll have a beer to that, because my kids, I got two kids that are older than that, and I got one that's coming up to 17, and he's about ready to start driver's ed, and it's.
Well,
I just bought him a guitar. I just bought him a guitar amp, dude. He went from one of them little guitar amps, one of them little 9-volt battery ones, right, to a fucking. I got him a tower speaker with 412s in it, and a Marshall, amp,
wow,
40 ampere, or no, 100 amp, I think.
That was one of the things that we're gonna try to quit smoking, because you know what I mean. Not every $5 a day, $10 a day is $140 a week.
$5 a day? What are you kidding? It's $10 a pack now where I live.
You're in the wrong spot, dude. But point is, I could take $300 a month and go buy lumber, and I'm gonna put me a room out there with a pool table and dartboard and TV and stuff, game room. Got to have some kind of motivation. Put cigarettes down. I can spend my money in something better. Yes,
and behind the eyes we see says, I think they're referring to what I was talking about with all of this mud flood, earth flat, all this other stuff. It's put out there to make us look nuts, right, to make truth seekers look nuts. And yes, it's there for that, but it's there for people to have a bad taste in their mouth for anybody that speaks about things that they believe people died in. Like, to this day, if you talk about 9/11 and say that 9/11 was propagated by the powers that be, and I truly believe that now. I wholeheartedly believe that Bush, Cheney, all of them, Rumsfeld, all of them son of a bitches were behind all of that. And for what reasons? For reasons that are for the control of our realm. All you have to do is go look at the Antarctic islands and who they're named after. You know what I mean? And that'll tell you everything. Those are the MFers of the world, as Rex would put it. The money funders of the world.
Yep.
Is them people that own the islands, that got their name on the islands, and they're still alive.
They putting up all that gold to give it back to you, Steve.
Yeah, right. They ain't giving me shit back. And if I want any gold, I want it monotomically, because I want to start ingesting the shit and see what happens. I'm serious, dude. I'm
Joe
dead
gets it
serious.
all back, dude.
I hope that's the case. $5 up here in the country backwoods. But then again, we the ones who grow the tobacco. So I
Yeah.
reckon we get discounts. And she lives in Australia,
Oh,
I think, right, Sandy? The two towers are on every Masonic tracing board. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater with the Masons. Masons are the original, uh,
builders.
yeah, the original Masonic lodges were founded upon the Ascension Principle, which is, going within to square the circle to be the architects of the universe and the architects of our physical realm. You know, North Carolina and South Carolina grows the tobacco. Yes, right by where Mr.
That
Runky
sounds.
Monkey lives.
Yep. We grow.
9/11 was a huge ritual. And behind the eyes we see says baby in bathwater. Yes, good point, Steve. Yes. You live in North Carolina, Sandy. I thought you lived. Oh, I'm thinking of Sandy, another Sandy. I'm sorry. You live in North Carolina too. I was just, I was just up in South Carolina. Where do you live again? In
Me,
South
I'm in
Carolina, Jerry?
Florence. Yeah, Florence.
Florence. Look up who the Odd Fellows are. Yeah, I've seen a little bit on there. The Odd Fellow lodges and stuff. Though now all these lodges. Oh, Aaron says not saying it was the Masons. Just there is a huge symbol behind. Yes, very true, and on the dollar bill too.
Mm-hmm.
G.T. Lambeth is in North Carolina, right north of you, right?
Yep. Charlotte area,
Charlotte.
Salisbury, Concord.
It is just not Masons and Illuminati. No, it's not. And sure there are people in the them factions that are negative or for ill purposes and have ill intent, but I believe that all of these lodges and all of these Goodfellows groups and all of these things were in an era where they were being lambasted in a public. They were being scrutinized for their beliefs and for their wanting to think outside the box. So they formed these groups, and it's just like today, YouTube, or the factions of YouTube. I'm not saying all of YouTube is nonsense, and just like all of well, you can say pretty much mainstream media is all bought and paid for by I believe that because think about the weather forecasters, people. You go on the Weather Channel now, you do not see one. Well, there's been one face, and it's that little skinny dude that I made that video about. Remember the chemtrails?
Yeah.
It's not a snake in the sky. It's not a this, and I repeated it like 15 times to the point where people got so irritated they want to slam their phone on the table. But you don't
It's
see the
called
same. You don't see the same weather people like you used to. Like in my local weather, there used to be the same person there for years
yeah.
and years and years. You don't see that anymore. Why
No.
is that? Because the ones that question what the hell is really going on,
Yeah.
that know meteorology, once they question it, they're gone. They're down the road.
Well, that's what that one guy he called it chap. They're dropping chap. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
chaff. You mean those radar returns?
What they chemtrails. That's what he were calling it. That they were spraying chap in the sky.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the definition of chat?
Well, I think it's like how in the Twister movie they dropped them little balls in there to read the rate, so they could win the wind speeds and all that's from it, uplift all that. Well, they can do it with the chemical now. The radars, the towers can pick it up because they got it down to an art now. The radar that protects us from the floods and tornadoes and stuff. That when it comes across the TV, they pretty smart with that now.
Well,
Because
yeah, I believe that's what the whole HARP thing's about. Is to they made them HARP stations to actually break up hurricanes and shit, to excite the ionosphere to a point where it would turn a low pressure system or a high pressure system, and mitigate it.
well,
And
it it was on the Discovery that they pushed the ionosphere up and then it fills in with air. Then you turn the machine off and it pushes back down and it changes the jet streams or
Yes,
changes the
it breaks up.
airflow.
It breaks up the propagation of the lower high pressure system,
Yeah.
right? Where how the storms form, because how storms form is the
Uplift.
the well effect, like the spinning effect. It's the Coriolis effect, is what it's called. It's like
Well,
how
that
your
and the
drain goes.
uplift.
Yeah, and uplift. It's how you drip. But isn't it amazing how the spirals and everything are the same in our Earth's atmosphere as in creation? And if you look at all these cave glyphs or old cave paintings and shit, there's spirals everywhere, spirals and crosses.
Yep.
It's just crazy, and that's what our creative. There's creation, which is the clockwise spiral, and then there's destruction, which is the counterclockwise spiral. And
What-
you put those two together, and then, huh?
Where are you talking about the backwards turn? Where you? I mean, is that something with the MasterCard you're seeing?
No, that was I've seen it on depictions of cave glyphs, like in I think there's some down in the Grand Canyon area. There's some up in what you call it? What's that mountain range called? Right by Los Alamos. And then there's a bunch over in France. I know that, and then in Peru. But the spirals are prevalent everywhere.
Right. That's the first I've heard of them going in the different directions. If it that was interesting. Yeah, thank you.
But that's creation, creative, and destruction. Destructive.
Right.
We need to find out our true history. Knowledge is power. Our true history is that a cycle. That's what our true history is. I mean, I understand that people think that you have to know what you did in the past not to repeat it in the future. But I mean, if you just in your heart know what's right, then we can't go wrong, I think. But to me, I believe that this whole construct has been wiped and reslated over and over again. And I think that's the whole loop of creation, in essence.
Well, I think that's why Moses broke the first set of the 10 Commandments. We got a clean slate.
Right. And what is my history is what I've lived. Very good point. Brandy agrees with Aaron, which is that we have to know our history. And GT Lambus says, pride comes before the fall. What have we here in USA grown up hearing? Proud to be an American. Well, not me. I'm proud to be a human. I'm proud to be, I'm happy to be an American because, if you look at it, if you were an African or if you were an Arabian, or if you were Italians are living the large just like we are. But I mean,
the American dream.
The American dream, right? I mean, the American dream is just that. Is it a dream? Are we being fed? Are we being fed one version while living another version that is going to be a subversion of the real version? Is going to be a version.
They didn't tell you that white picket fence was really bars.
Right. The U.S. was created to be 100% controlled by the Zionists. The whole creation of America is fake. Phoenicians, Templars, Vikings, etc., all here long before Columbus. Natives were only taken out due to being a huge threat. I believe that there was Vikings here before. The Native Americans are the ones by right who have been here since, probably forever. Who knows? I don't know, but I believe that our manifest destiny of the European Anglo-Saxon war machine, manifest destiny when we only had 13 colonies on the East Coast, and then started taking over the whole damn country and converting the Native Americans, which was all wrong, or killing them off. or waging war against a horseback culture that had bows and arrows, and we had, not we, but I mean my ancestors or the white race had guns, and they started killing them, via gun when they only had, well, via the gun and alcohol, you know. But I mean, I believe that the Indians, the Mississippi River mound builders, were connected to Source, and the Path of Souls is evidence of that. And their rituals are that they would have a jump off point right around December 15th, where they would have a ritual, and they would put them in the mound, which is by definition the mound of creation, which is by definition the same as the pyramid in Giza. That's what Giza's pyramids personify, and it's the base and the culmination of the ascension process, or how the mound becomes a diamond, whatnot. But I mean, like right here in my area, Mounds Park, and I didn't know this until recently, and I've lived here my whole life, and I always visited the park. It's on a bluff, and it's just like all of these mounds. They're always built on a certain curve in the river, up on a bluff usually, and there's in the form of the belt of Orion. There's 3 of them usually, and just like the Giza pyramids, and just like the Giza pyramids, the mounds at Mounds Park here have this 4th little tiny mound off to the what is it, the west and just south of the 3. Just like if you look at a depiction of Orion's belt, you'll see that there's a 4th little star on the in the Orion constellation. It's off in the distance. It's far. It's not as close as the other stars, but it's there. And Giza pyramids set up, the Giza plateau has the very same thing. And nobody ever talks about that. It's just like, oh, and recently, this is another reason why I wanted to do this live stream. Recently, Mystery Decoder, which decodes Nostradamus's quatrains, okay, come out with this video about the first ice crop circle of 2019, and lo and behold, it depicts January 11th, 2020.
You're kidding me, right?
No, dude. No. Finally, I'm like, oh my God, finally. Finally somebody's talking about this shit. And it comes up on a friggin' ice circle in China.
Yeah, but that's my birthday anyhow.
Is it really? 111. Yeah, right. That is, isn't it? That's funny. But yeah, that's incredible, because I came across that information searching the esoteric meaning of Pluto, remember?
Yep.
It was just one of these epiphanies that came one right after another. Boom, boom, boom. It was like the cosmos was talking to me. It was just weird, because that Star is Born movie, if you haven't seen it, everybody, if I propagate any movie that any more than this one, I better start getting kickbacks from it, because I've propagated this movie ever since I've seen it. And it's a movie about a relationship and a hero's journey, which ends in the worst way. But I mean, it grabbed me by my freaking pain, my heart, and I cried during the movie. And I was in a movie theater, and I got up in front of the whole movie theater, turned around, and it was a movie theater filled with 45 to 50-year-old people, couples, no kids, no nothing. And the guys were all like, what did you get me into when they first showed up? But at the end, they were all speechless. And I turned around, I was in the front of the whole movie theater, and I said, not a bad movie for a chick flick, huh, guys? And I could, I didn't feel any awkwardness or nothing by doing that. My wife looked at me like, you're freaking nuts. But everybody started laughing, and they agreed, But I mean, this movie, it was that whole situation with the eyes, she when she meets Bradley Cooper or whatever, remember I told you that? And that whole situation came to a culmination when I seen that pictograph of the Godhead, of that hieroglyph of the Godhead, and it's Pluto's symbol, which is an ankh with its arms in the air,
He's got the whole world in his hands.
And it's holding up the red sphere, this red sun disk. That red sun disk is the collective consciousness, the all-spark of us all. It's the wisdom of us all. And it's that Godhead pictograph. I wonder if I can find it here. So forgive me, I'm going to look on my drive here, guys. So if I'm kind of look like I'm, oh, Google. Google, is making money hand over fist. The Google is the new god, is I'd like to call them. You know, when Google bought the analog signal from the government for the Google phone, because Google, you try to use a smartphone without Google and it's not smart anymore. It won't even really work actually. But I'm just trying to talk while I'm looking for something here, so forgive me. You still there, Jerry?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I'm looking for this Godhead thing so I can share it with you guys so I can show you. But yeah. Hope we're not sustaining ourselves to be food for the others. Steve, you and I have been blown away with that movie since, yes, we have, Aaron. I remember you talking about that. Yes. 200% on 9/11, but Bush, etc., are just the front puppets. I agree with that. That's why I said you just go look at who the islands in Antarctica are named after, and that'll tell you who is really the string pullers, the puppet masters of our existence. You know, which we all know that it's the ones with the name starts with an R. You know,
like
those
a
are
rocket.
the ones. Yeah, Rocket Man.
Rocket
Man. I got my settings here to where. Sorry, guys. What the hell? How do you shrink up the screen? Oh, just okay. I mean, it's like I was 105. Here it is, right here. I found it right away. Oh no, I clicked on the wrong one.
Are you on Zoom?
No, I'm on my drive right now, looking up my pictures.
I mean, you still paying for Zoom? Or
Yeah, yeah. That's why I figured I might as well use it because they're about to charge me for another month. And they got me on auto pay, and isn't that convenient how they can? Oh, and then I was going to cancel my subscription, so it went auto pay. But then, you know, they say right in the bylaws are in their letters that if you cancel your subscription before that your payment is due, which is for me it's May 7th or something like that, then I can't use it anymore between now and 7th. So it says you come back on the 7th, you can cancel it. You know, but that's just like anything you order on, you know, with an automatic pay, is that, you know, you can try this for free, but you got to give a credit card number. You know how they do that on TV? Okay, here, you guys, I'm going to share this with you. This right here is what that movie learned me. And it's just weird because I was talking to Phil about what this meant, because I asked him what this meant, because right here, hang on. Oh, God damn it. Okay, right here, this is the symbol for Pluto, right here. And we all know that the Ankh is symbolic of creation, both in the spiritual and the exoteric, meaning that it's in the physical and the spiritual sense. The Jed pillar is the 4 with the 5th element, the same as the pyramid. Okay, the Jed pillar is symbolic of truth, the ultimate truth, with the 4 elements. Okay, these are the right and left hemisphere of our brain, and they're identical because you make them, you know, you find the equilibrium, the center of them, so you make them the same. You know, you marry the 2 when the 2 become 1, and you know this is a female because the chalice is on top. You know, this is the male because it's either the throne or the phallus. Okay. These baboons are representation of the 6th chakra, or Thoth. Okay. This right here, the red sphere, is symbolic of the slain lamb, or the bright light, because that in symbolic terms, red is the same as the light. You know, or you know, the slain lamb that's rife in the Bible.
That'd be your transmitter and receiver, right?
Right, but this is the Akashic, or the spark of all, is the center of all things. And this right here, this arch, is what I asked Phil about. I said, "What is this arch on top? What does that mean?" And it's the house of bread. It's the journey of the sun. You know, that's what the sun signifies when it arcs across the sky. It's the hero's journey itself. Also, it's the top of a head. And then he said,
Yeah.
Steve, look what the women are nailing on. Their freaking eyebrows and eyelids. This is a depiction of a godhead. This is the whole head right here. The whole picture is the picture of a head, of a face. It's just it blew me away. I was like, oh my God, that's why in that movie when what's her face? What's her name? Lady Gaga looks at Bradley Cooper for the first time in, by no coincidence, a transgender bar dressed as a transvestite. She has fake eyelids on, and eyebrows. Okay, or eyelashes and eyebrows, and they make a point after the eye contact they make. He goes behind the stage as she's taking off her eyebrows, and I had no clue that's why that stuck with me, and it's because that movie is full of esoteric insight. Even at the end, and I don't want to be what do you call it? I don't want to spoil anybody's. I forget what they call it. You know, I feel stupid for that, but whatever. I don't want to spoil anybody's ending of a movie. I don't want to say what's it called. God, come on, somebody.
You don't want to blow it for him.
But Aaron Johnson, I don't even want to tell you all the creepy shit that's been going on with the phone. But yeah, Sandy Carpenter says Kathy Ashby says, hi Kathy, how are you? It really is an awesome discussion and explanation of everything, and then some. Love it. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but Steve, you know, I think the Ankh represents us rising our vibration to enlightenment or transcendence. I could be wrong. People who think, question are very hard to find. Yeah, not people who think and question things are increasingly becoming easier to find, but they're going to become even harder to find because we're going to all be censored here soon. And that's my point. But I want to end what I'm talking about here. But that movie ends with somebody saying he lived his life like an octave of a musical note, or a musical note, where it has 12 octaves and it comes back to the one. So it talks about, it made reference to the 12 and the one. And the 12 and the one is the same as the zodiac in Jesus in the Middle, or the Last Supper painting. The Last Supper painting is a depiction of the zodiac, which in turn is a depiction of our brain, of our mind, because we have 12 paired cranial nerves in the top of our head, and at the center of that is our pineal gland, which the pineal gland in this esoteric depiction pictograph here is the Ankh.
You think that's why babies have that soft spot right there?
Babies have that soft spot, so you're yeah, that, and so their head can squeeze out the womb. But yeah, that's because all my kids were born cone-headed and purple. You know, that's probably why I like my wife, because she's tighter and I'm not that big. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, that was too much information. I know. I'm sorry, but yeah. It's crazy. And then if you count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 colors here. And they're paired. So that's signifying the 12 cranial nerves that are paired in our minds. And they're paired because there's 24 hours in a day, right? And they're divided because there's 12 hours in a night. There's 12 hours in a day, right? Okay. So what does a clock represent? What does time represent? Time represents the the increments of our creation. I mean, it's part of our creation. People like to say time doesn't exist, but only in a physical way it exists. It's an attribute or a means to explain or to put things in a placeholder.
Measure.
It's a measure. But in the spiritual sense, time does not exist. Time is all one time existent. And that's when you become enlightened or ascend or realize and have the true understanding. And that's why I can't really articulate or explain things, because I don't have the true understanding, but I got the knowledge, but I don't understand it all yet. But these pictographs, all ancient hieroglyphs, all Egyptian hieroglyphs, are all put there for a reason. And the Nibiru story is essentially the same as this right here, telling of ascension and the crossing point, just like the crossing point at that the two triangles meeting. There's 4 arrows and they're all pointing inward. You know what I mean? Right? They're all pointing into the center. What does that mean? It's like the pentagram. Within the pentagram is what? Right? I mean, the center of all things. The pentagram has is 666, right? Is that what it? Am I right by that? The pentagram is it has 6. Is it 6 triangles? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 5 triangles. Or I'm thinking of the Star of David, ain't I? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Star of David has 6 triangles, 6 intersections, and but anyway, that's where 666 comes from. And then the pentagram is the 5 in the one, the 4 elements, and then it's us. That's why the pentagram is associated with us. The Vesica Pisces is the pentagram, right?
Well, I always see I think it's wood and metal is in the elements with the pentagram, because that's where we get our milk and honey, or the reap our benefits from the earth. With the metal we can build, with the wood we can build the earth, wind, fire, air. But then there's the metal and the wood. There was some other ones too, but I can't remember what they were.
Right. And
that might be
is it coincidence 5. Jesus was a carpenter, a builder?
He built what tables or whatever. Yeah, he was a carpenter.
And he was a fisher of men. He was a fisherman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no coincidence. It's because I believe that Jesus, first and foremost, is an allegory for us and what we should strive to become. He could have been a physical person. Right. And I don't think that Jesus Christ was his name. I believe he was Jesus of the Christ. Christ means the Christos, like Max Vision says.
We're supposed to be Christ-like,
Yes.
Righteous, upright.
Right. And we're made in his image, which is God's image, that's why man is the measure of all things. That's why you can just come back. It brings you back and back and back. It loops back to itself, the center of all things.
Right back to Joshua.
Right. But yeah, guys, with that, I want to say I love you all. And, regardless of who you are, black, white, Asian, or otherwise.
I ain't prejudiced. I hate everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And we all face tribulations, and we all face uphill battles. And I believe facing them uphill battles with a smile on your face is the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We are all faced with censorship, and that's the biggest issue in my mind right now, is being suppressed for wanting what's better for everybody. And that's in essence, that's what I want, is what you want. We all want the same thing.
Amen, brother.
Just because somebody on TV wants to say, or on Facebook wants to say us and them, or the Democrats and the Republicans, even the Democrats are deep down, they want the same things. The good ones, just like the good Republicans, good people. Get rid of the labels, get rid of the belief, because within belief is a lie.
There's that Metallica song again.
Yeah.
Don't dub me unforgiven. You can call
Right.
me anything you want, just don't call me unforgiven. Don't
One can forget, one can forgive, and eventually you might forget, but you don't have to forget. You have to let go of any karmic
Well, I think that's why
quality.
the wolf dwells with the lamb. You'll remember them things. The word
Right.
won't pass away.
But this Godhead thing is the creative principle in a nutshell. This is a head, our mind creating itself, because thought is our consciousness and our sixth chakra. And what's our seventh? The all spark, the mentalism of us all, the understanding, the diamond, the capstone becoming radiant, bright. That's what this signifies, the red slain lamb, the light, the pineal light. And, I mean, it's right there before us, just like all of the stories tell us, you know, it's right there before us. And we just need to see it, see what this reality is, understand it, become one with God. Everybody likes to bash God. Everybody likes to say that there is no God. If God was this, then why would this happen and this and that? Things like that happen just because we live in a chaotic world, in a chaotic sea. You know, without the bad, there'd be no good. Without the good, there'd be no bad. That's the dualistic nature of our physical creation, and we have to overcome that. Overcome the ego, slay the dragon. That's how I see things. And yeah,
Good
with that,
vision.
I'll say good night or goodbye, good night, good day, good morning, wherever you may be. Love, peace, chicken grease.
Thank
Till
you.
the next time. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, guys, love, peace, and chicken grease. I'm gonna stop the share, and then I'm gonna get out of the live stream. Take it easy, guys. Thank you, GT Lambus. Thank you, Paula, Esther Lim. Thank you. Peace, love, and sunshine. Brandy, I'm glad you guys are all here. Thanks for all your insight. Kathy Ashby. Brenda Eiler. Peace, love, and sunshine. If I haven't said your name, Aaron. As always, I'm glad you were here. Brenda, Sandy. Okay. Eric, I'm glad you were here. Thank you for joining us. And did I miss anybody? I wonder where Thoth is, or
Yeah.
Miles. I was wondering where he was.
Maybe it's too early.
Yeah, he's got a night job, doesn't he? Holy cow, we've been on for 3 hours, dude. Wow. Take it easy, guys.